This is the safest era men have ever lived in. No bombs at your door, food on demand, endless screens, endless comfort. And still, 1-inch 4 young men say they felt lonely most of yesterday. More anxious, more lost, more drifting. So what did they optimize this world for? Because nothing exploded. No visible collapse. AI is gutting entry-level jobs. 86% of men still tie manhood to providing. Financial strain spikes suicidal thoughts. And you're anesthetizing yourself with porn, scrolls, cheap dopamine. The old model is dead. No one sent the update. Now let's talk about why. The system changed. The incentives changed. But most men didn't. That gap is the instability you feel. Let's break the first fracture. Most men still measure their worth in dollars. Income equals identity. If you provide, you matter. If you don't, you shrink. That script worked for a long time. Stable companies, linear careers, one income could carry a household. But that environment doesn't exist anymore. Entry-level white-collar roles are shrinking. AI is compressing junior tasks. 2 incomes are normal. Job security is a myth. And yet most men never updated the equation. So when money feels unstable, it doesn't just trigger stress. It triggers shame. Because if provision equals manhood, then financial volatility feels like personal failure. That's the fracture. Not a villain. Not a culture war. Just a structural shift colliding with an outdated identity. You were trained to anchor your worth to one variable, in a system that now fluctuates constantly. And it started earlier than you think. You were trained inside an education system built for industrial stability. Show up, follow instructions, memorize, obey deadlines. That model rewards compliance. This era rewards adaptability. You learned how to pass tests, not how to pivot when the test changes. So anxiety rises, silence increases. You either grind harder or freeze. But the deeper problem isn't income, it's dependency. If your entire identity rests on providing, and provision becomes unstable, you become unstable. The old model didn't just weaken, it expired, and nobody handed you the replacement. And that's not even the strangest part. The strangest part is this: we are the most connected generation in human history, and the most isolated. You can reach anyone instantly, but you don't know how to walk up to someone in real life. Dating apps everywhere, confidence nowhere. Porn infinite, intimacy extinct. You were told to be respectful, to be careful, to not be too much. So you optimized for being safe, agreeable, non-threatening, nice. But attraction doesn't reward safety, and life doesn't reward hesitation. So what happens? You hesitate. You overthink texts, avoid approaching, delay conversations. You stay quiet when you should speak. Not because you're weak, because you were trained to avoid friction in a world that requires it. Rejection feels catastrophic when you've never built tolerance for it. So you choose comfort, and comfort compounds into loneliness. The system gave you infinite connection, but it never trained you in courage? That's the paradox. The more connected you are digitally, the less capable you become socially if you don't build edge on purpose. And that isolation? It doesn't explode. It drifts. Look at your last 30 days. How many hours did you spend in deep focus? How many did you spend scrolling? I used to tell myself I was just relaxing. Most nights I'd say I'd sleep early. Then I'd end up scrolling reviews, random clips, girls dancing on my feed until 2 or 3 a.m. Phone glowing in my face. Next morning I'd wake up feeling like a zombie. No focus, no edge, just fog. And I'd still say I was busy. Let that sink in. You say you don't have time. You have time. You just spend it numbing. When stress hits, what do? Scroll, porn, short videos, noise. You call it unwinding, but it's sedation. Every time you escape tension instead of carrying it, you lower your tolerance. And tolerance is leverage. In an AI-accelerated world, average cognitive output loses value fast. Focus compounds. Distraction decays. If you can't sit still without reaching for stimulus, you can't build anything that compounds. Not skill, not income, not presence. This isn't about morality, it's mechanics. The economy itself is now gamified. Loyalty isn't the dominant currency anymore. It rewards visibility. It rewards velocity. You're not just working in a market anymore. You're performing inside an algorithm, and most men are still playing by industrial rules. Your nervous system is being trained daily. The question is, trained for depth or trained for escape? Because comfort doesn't feel dangerous. It feels deserved. But over time it selects against you, and most men never notice the trade they're making. And here's where it all converges. This isn't collapse, it's separation. The next 5 years won't destroy everyone. They'll divide everyone. On one side, men who build internal structure. They train focus, tolerate discomfort, update skills fast. They detach identity from one paycheck and use AI as leverage instead of competing with it. On the other side, men who stay optimized for comfort. They scroll, wait for stability to return. They blame culture, the economy, women, politics. They hope the old script comes back. It won't. The market is accelerating. Technology is compounding. Attention is fragmenting. In that environment, drift is expensive. You won't feel the collapse all at once. You'll feel it gradually. Peers outpacing you. Confidence shrinking. Options narrowing. Not because you're cursed, because you didn't adapt. This era doesn't reward the strongest physically. It rewards the most internally stable. And stability is built, not inherited, not granted. Selection isn't emotional. It's mechanical. The only question is which side you train for. You don't get to opt out of this shift. The old stability is not coming back. The old script is not rebooting. You will feel pain either way. Early pain looks like discipline, skill upgrades, rejection, saying no to comfort, building when no one claps. Late pain looks like regret, watching others compound while you scroll, feeling replaceable, realizing you trained for the wrong world. Selection doesn't care about your excuses. It responds to structure. So decide. Drift with comfort, or build the edge this era actually rewards. It will be pain,